Looking at another crystal clear sky across South Georgia tonight, but not quite as cold. We'll see morning lows in the upper 30s to the lower 40s, and then lots of sunshine for our Friday out there with temperatures in the lower to mid 70s. Not as cold again tomorrow morning, so we're going to continue to see this gradual warming trend through the weekend. We do have a rain chance, though, to the middle of next week. We'll talk more about it in your extended forecast ahead on South Georgia Television News.
South Georgia Television News starts now.
Good evening and welcome to South Georgia Television News. I'm Julie Milam, sitting in for Morgan Hoover. We'll begin with politics tonight as Georgia's GOP Senate nominee Herschel Walker is in our neck of the woods. Today he was in Cordele. Tomorrow morning he will be in Americus. We got a sample of what to expect at Wednesday's campaign stop in Perry. Walker chastising his opponent and incumbent, Democratic Senator Reverend Raphael Warnock. Walker was slamming Warnock while declaring victory in Friday's debate as Walker tries linking Warnock to the Biden presidency.
What he's done right now is voted with Joe Biden 96% of the time, which means he either like him or he don't know what he's doing. Because what Joe Biden has put against this country and against Georgia is not right. You know, to take our energy away to go to enemies that don't like us. Do you not know the definition of enemy?
Walker stumps Americus tomorrow morning. A lot has been said about Georgia's record-setting early voting totals, but if you drill down on the numbers, it's African-American voters who are really answering the call. Abby Kasoris has the details.
It's been a rush to the polls over the first 3 days of early voting here in Georgia. With some hot races on the ticket, people want their voices to be heard. Turns out that black voters coming out in droves, making up nearly 36% of early voters so far, despite only making up 30% of active voters.
My youngest son and his wife, and that's me.
Teresa Howard says after encouraging her family to vote, that's all they can talk about in their group chat.
To believe that on the family chat, everybody is showing their I voted sign. I secured my vote sign.
She voted the first day she could.
People of color, African Americans, black people, the age population, it's really critical. You know, whether you send it in or whether you go for early voting.
Groups like the People's Agenda are mobilizing voters, knocking door to door, making sure that a lack of information or transportation won't keep people from voting.
We have a lot of disabled, blind people that we take to the polls on a regular basis. If they're disabled or illiterate, we go in and assist them with their voting process. So it's all about making sure that voters have access to the ballot.
The right to vote. Ozzie Hill says she's wearing her I voted sticker proudly.
We had a lot of people that didn't know how to vote. To oppose, you got people knocking on doors, registering you for voting now, so there's no way that you don't know.
The People's Agenda works all year long to get people registered to vote. They have groups across the state working to drive people to the polls. They're a nonpartisan group, meaning they will pick you up and take you to a poll regardless of who you're going to vote for. In Atlanta, I'm Abby Kasoris.
Despite the record turnout, Stacey Abrams, Georgia's Democrat gubernatorial hopeful, continues to decry voter suppression.
Yes, we should be excited, but let's remember what that means. It does not mean that voter suppression doesn't exist. That's like saying that there are no more sharks in the water because more people get in. We know that voter suppression is alive and well in Georgia, but we're stronger, we're faster, and we're better than it, and we are going to bring it, and we're going to win this election.
3 weeks ago, federal judge dismissed her 3-year-old lawsuit filed after Abrams lost to Governor Kemp in 2018, a race she has still yet to formally concede. Coming back closer to home, Worth and Crisp County deputies are looking for a convicted child molester who is running from the law. He's identified as Aaron Brian Jones of Sylvester. Deputies say Jones removed his ankle monitor and fled his Worth County home early this morning. Crisp deputies found a recreation vehicle owned by Jones on Highway 300 this morning, but not the convict. Jones stands 6 foot tall and weighs roughly 170 pounds. Authorities caution not to approach Jones as he's considered armed and dangerous. The registered sex offender was most recently convicted of child molestation back in 2017. Now to Chatham County, where a grim search is underway at the local landfill for toddler Quentin Simon. He was reported missing 2 weeks ago today. As suspicions grow surrounding his mother's possible involvement in her son's disappearance, Alyssa Jackson reports.
The recovery and heartbreaking search of a 1-year-old baby is happening. Law enforcement no longer believes Quentin Simon went missing. They are trying to recover his body in a landfill.
We believe that he was placed in a specific dumpster at a specific location, and it was brought here by regular means of disposal.
The words no one wanted to hear, disposal. And all eyes are still on his mother, Leilani Simon, last publicly seen running out of a juvenile courthouse following a custody hearing for her other 2 children who are around 6 months and 3 years old. The mother being pursued as the primary suspect is a drastic change from 2 weeks ago when she called the police.
Plaintiff as her 1-year-old son is missing. She woke up, her door was open. Advising he's unable to open the door, thinks someone came in and took him.
Police and FBI specialists from Quantico are now going through trash in the landfill to find the one place they think he is. It's weighing heavily on a community who just learned his name 2 weeks ago.
Little kids, you know, they get your heart. They get your heart.
As a memorial for baby Quentin grows, they can't help but question how someone could throw away their child.
There's just a lot of sketchiness.
While updates and new information have so many on edge.
Where I'm standing before you 6 months from now talking about a flawed investigation or talking about why we did this and why we didn't do that.
Law enforcement wants to have a solid case for prosecution. They know that means the community will be pressing for more answers, but their priority is the baby.
We want justice for Quentin, just like everybody else, and we want to find his remains so we can give him a proper resting place.
Thousands of people want the same for the baby, hoping he did not suffer, praying he gets justice and another day doesn't go by before he's recovered.
In the end, I'd rather know than not know, you know. It'll bring closure, but it's going to take a lot of time to heal that pain.
That was Alyssa Jackson reporting, who adds that police say they are building a case for prosecution. Well, your hometown Thursday night sports report is still a few minutes away, but Sports Director Reese Furlow has your preview right now.
Happy Thursday. It's Ladies Week as both softball and volleyball playoffs began today for some of our local high schools. We got the highlights and more coming up in sports.
Thank you, Reese. Still ahead on South Georgia Television News, Peach State native Julia Roberts reunites with George Clooney on the silver screen. But does this love story end with a happily ever after? That preview is just a few minutes away. But first...
I'm Quillen Parker at the Sunbelt Ag Expo, and tonight we're talking about power line safety. Ahead tonight on South Georgia Television News.
Thank you, Quinlan. It's time to break out the jackets and hoodies if you haven't already. Meteorologist Matthew Crumley explains when South Georgia Television News returns after this quick break.
Packer football in Moultrie is Packer Nation. It is all football all the time. It's Friday Night Lights. It's everybody supporting the same cause.
Everybody loves tailgating because it brings everybody together. It's a real tight-knit family atmosphere. Well, the Lassiters are supportive just because they've been here for generations. I mean, it's their place they call home. I mean, that's what the whole community really stands by. You know, we live and breathe football down here.
Lassiter Motor Company wishes you and your team a winning season.
I'm Raphael Warnock, and I approve this message.
Why should voters believe you in this?
Voters should believe me because I've been very transparent about everything I've ever done. You know, I wrote a book about things I've done.
Another lie from Herschel Walker. Here's Walker's book, and he didn't write a word about his violence towards women. Nothing about threatening to kill his wife. In fact, Walker wrote, I can't point to any major blow-ups between us. Herschel Walker's lying again.
If you've been injured and think you can't afford a lawyer, think again. There's absolutely no fee until we win your case, and we can start helping you today.
I needed surgery after I was hit by a big truck. The Ken Nugent Law Firm took my case, and it didn't cost me any money out of pocket.
I didn't have to pay a dime up front, and the Ken Nugent Law Firm got me $525,000.
Our job is to maximize the result of your case. Big case or small, one call, that's all.
Call 1-800-CALL-KEN.
At Douglas Metal and Steel Manufacturing, we only use top quality steel and roofing. And with our on-staff custom designer, we can customize your building to best suit your needs. From large commercial, agriculture, or just a place to store your stuff. And it comes with a written 40-year warranty that we'll put in your hand. It's not just quality we stand behind, but we stand on. Call today for a free quote. Douglas Metal and Steel Manufacturing. We are steel #1.
Your Weather Authority forecast with meteorologist Matthew Crumley, sponsored by Georgia Metals.
Well, we have a treat in the southeastern sky tonight with clear skies. It's leading to perfect viewing conditions of the Orionids meteor shower. You can see that there will be 10 to 20 meteors per hour at peak, and this peaks during the early morning hours of October 21st, and again will last through about tomorrow morning. And then after that, the peak of the meteor shower will be going on away. It is also the wrap-up of today, the Spence Field in Moultrie of the Sunbelt Ag Expo. 64 degrees in Moultrie now, relative humidity at 26%. Checking other temperatures around the area, you can see that we have temperatures in the 60s across the board. And as we broaden out the picture, you can see all the temperatures across South Georgia. We've got 68 in Valdosta, 64 in Thomasville, 67 in Bainbridge, and not much of a wind out there. Generally light wind at about 5 to 10 miles per hour. And so that is keeping things relatively light and variable with those winds. High pressure still in command of our weather. There's a little narrow stream of clouds moving across the sky, but not blocking that sunshine for this afternoon. So here's a look at our futurecast. We're going to see the temperatures through the evening fall through the 50s into the 40s. Now tomorrow morning will not be quite as cold. We're not looking as quite as a widespread of a frost. We are looking at possibly a few areas of patchy frost and wind protected areas. But generally in the morning, we'll start out in the upper 30s to lower 40s. And then tomorrow afternoon, we'll see temperatures rebound back into the upper 60s to lower 70s for our Friday for a fantastic finish to the work week, and a nice evening too for high school football and all those activities you've got planned for your Friday evening. Then taking a look at Saturday morning will be a touch warmer, starting out the door in the lower 40s, and then by the afternoon we should reach the mid-70s with lots of sunshine across South Georgia on our Saturday. A few high clouds may stream in as we head into our Sunday morning. Temperatures will be even warmer too, into the lower 50s. So forecast lows tonight, once again in the mid to upper 30s in a few locations, while others will be right around the lower 40s rather. And then for the afternoon, we'll see temperatures in the 70s once again. Here's the temperature trend as we move forward in time. We are looking at temperatures reaching average out there as we get into early next week, and our morning lows will begin to rise too after we get past Monday, up to 53 degrees on Tuesday and 58 by Wednesday. And by that time, we'll see a front approaching, and that'll bring our rain chances up to the scattered range as we move into Wednesday night. So for tonight, looking at clear skies, again, good conditions to see that Orionids meteor shower. Clear, not as cold. Average low is 56, so we're still going to be below average out the door in the morning. Still chilly, 71 for the afternoon. Sunshine, a touch warmer in the afternoon as well. Here's a look at that 7-day forecast. We are looking at, again, lots of sunshine. A few high clouds may stream in on your Saturday. Temperatures in the mid-70s, upper 70s, close to 80 on Sunday. Morning lows will still be in the 40s through the weekend, and then we're going to see those morning lows rise into the lower 50s as we get into early next week. A 20% chance of rain arrives on Tuesday, a better chance of showers around the area on Wednesday, 40% chance of rain. Thunderstorms are not expected with this front at this time, but that could change. And then as we go towards the latter half of next week, we keep the seasonal temperatures around with temperatures in the mid to upper 70s and morning lows in the mid 50s with a few clouds around and seasonal temperatures.
Y'all, Halloween is here, and it
you're tired of being tricked or scared by prices, then come see us at South Georgia Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram in Cordele, where we have your treat. We have brand new Rams and brand new Jeeps at invoice. That's right, buy at invoice when you trade your vehicle with us. So give us a call or visit online to schedule your appointment today. South Georgia Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram, elevating the car buying experience.
As the commanding general of Fort Benning, I had the distinct honor of working with a great American, Sanford Bishop. Sanford helped the Army add 20,000 new jobs. He helped grow the Marine Corps Logistics Base in Albany and Robins Air Force Base. And he brought Columbus a great new VA clinic. We could always count on Sanford to take care of our soldiers and our veterans. He was in the fight all the way. I'm honored to call Sanford Bishop my friend.
I'm Sanford Bishop. I approve this ad.
I trust Sanford Bishop with my life.
Many U.S. veterans suffer silently with PTSD. Symptoms such as flashbacks and depression may be kept hidden because of the stigma. The fact is, PTSD is a treatable medical condition and should be handled with compassion. Call this number or visit saluteheroes.org to learn more.
Stacey Abrams backs Joe Biden totally, unquestioningly. She sucked up to Biden. She backed his economic agenda, destroyed retirement savings, ravaged family budgets, sent America into recession. Here in Georgia, Brian Kemp stands his ground, cowers to no one. He brought jobs, cut family taxes, funded our schools. But Stacey Abrams wants to double down on failure. Don't let Stacey Abrams do to Georgia what they've done to America.
Welcome back to South Georgia Television News. You can put a bow on it in Moultrie as it's a wrap for the 44th annual Sunbelt Ag Expo. But not before South Georgia Television News reporter Quinlan Parker got a primer in power line safety.
Here at the Sunbelt Ag Expo, not only are you able to learn about the state's #1 industry, and that's agriculture, but you can also learn about safety on things such as high voltage power lines.
That's kind of what you see. So like if you ride by and you see a pole arcing or see a limb burning on it, that's typically what happens when it has a path to ground.
No better facility, no better place that we can demonstrate that than here when you have so many different walks of life coming through.
This afternoon, I talked with Eric Brown, a lineman with Greystone Corporation. He and some other linemen put on a live demo of what would happen if you were to come in contact with a live power line. Brown explains why he feels it's important to be here at the Ag Expo.
It's still a big industry in our state, and we have instances where people don't get enough education on down power lines.
Eric tells me that car crashes are the primary cause of most down power lines. He adds that what they want spectators to take away from this live demo is safety.
It allows us to show people what can happen if you become, or if you're in a situation to where the human body comes in contact with electricity or animals. Animals cause a lot of outages as far as as well as vehicles too.
In addition to showing what can happen if a human or animal comes into contact with a power line, the lineman also showed what happens to your power. And they have a message for you when the lights go out.
A lot of people become upset because their power stays out. We have a lot of steps that we have to go through to ensure our safety as well as the members' safety.
Because local matters. In Moultrie at the Sunbelt Ag Expo, I'm Quillen Parker, South Georgia Television News.
Yes, that's why.
It's time for your Thursday Hometown Sports Report with South Georgia Sports Director Reese Furlow. Get ready for some exciting local college and high school content.
Albany State football will be on the road this Saturday as they're coming off a tough homecoming game loss to Benedict College last weekend. The Golden Rams will take on Savannah State, a team they're 1-1 against in the Gabe Gardenia era. And for Albany State, this weekend will be all about fixing their flaws from their loss to the Tigers.
I think we just got to play, we got to tackle better defensively. That's #1 thing, and that's, we'll obviously make an emphasis at that this week. We got to complete more balls. From a standpoint of offensively. And then special teams, I think we just got to continue what we're doing. We got to get ourselves confident in one of these kickers to make short field goals. I think that's why we're going for it so much. Fourth down is just not confident in guys right now. So, we got to do those things. And those are big areas of improvement and can be done. They are attainable goals. And we got to we got to have a great mindset. I think that's the biggest thing, is, hey, we know, we got a lot to still play for, a chance still to go to the playoffs, and so but we got to win and play well, and in order to do that, we got to do those fundamental things we just talked about.
Kickoff for Saturday's game is scheduled for 5 p.m. And in high school news, the softball playoffs began today for Crisp County as the Lady Cougars look to advance in the Super Regionals. But first, they'd have to get past Upson Lee. The Lady Knights would go up 1-0 after the top of the first, but the Lady Cougars would tie it up in the bottom of the first after a pass ball brings in a run. It wouldn't take much longer for the Cougars to take the lead either, as most of the damage would be done in the bottom of the third inning, where they'd go on to score 4 runs to give them the 5-1 lead. And that would be the difference maker, as Crisp County's going to come away with the first round win. They took on Calvary later on in the evening, so we'll get you the final score in tomorrow's show. Over in Moultrie, the Colquitt Lady Packers softball team took on Pebblebrook in the first round, looking to advance as well. And it was all Packers early on. They'd go on to score 15 runs by the third inning, giving Pebblebrook no chance to make a comeback. They'll go on to play the winner of Hillgrove and Grayson later today. The winner of that game will compete in the championship tomorrow. Whichever team wins the Super Regional Championship will then compete in the state tournament at the end of the month, which takes place in Columbus. Now let's take a look at the scoreboard from the rest of the Super Regional matchups. Sticking with high school, the volleyball playoffs also took place yesterday in Lee County as the Lady Trojans took on Lakeside to see who advances to the next round. This one best 3 out of 5, and it was all Lakeside in the first 2 sets as they'd get the 25-21 win in set 1 and 25-15 win in set 2. The Lady Trojans wouldn't give up just yet as they'd take set 3, but the comeback would fall short as the Panthers take the next set and the win to advance to the next round. They'll face St. Pius Catholic on Saturday. Now here's a look at all the other scores and wins from the first round of the volleyball playoffs. I'm Reese Furlow, South Georgia Television Sports.
Thank you, Reese. Meteorologist Matthew Crumley's last look at your forecast, our pet of the day, and a ticket to paradise will be waiting for you when South Georgia Television News returns.
Reverend Warnock's running a nasty, dishonest campaign. Perfect for Washington. The Reverend doesn't even tell my full story, my true story. As everyone knows, I had a real battle with mental health. Even wrote a book about it. And by the grace of God, I've overcome it. Warnock's a preacher who doesn't tell the truth. He doesn't even believe in redemption. I'm Herschel Walker, saved by grace, and I approve this message.
Are you having a difficult time getting your dog to respond to you? At Real Life Canine in Moultrie, Georgia, we use over 20 years of experience to teach your dog obedience is enjoyable. Then we teach you how to maintain this new relationship with your pet. We take a real-life approach to teaching your pet to respond to you where you live by having your pet live in our home during training. Go to reallifecanine.com, like us on Facebook, or call today for a free phone consultation at 229-589-0358.
Georgia Power, we're building the future of energy. Over the last decade, we've invested nearly $10 billion to strengthen the electric grid, installing new substations, upgrading transformers, moving power lines underground, and investing in cleaner energy. We're making the electric grid more resilient and reliable, providing clean, safe, reliable, and affordable energy to Georgians. At Georgia Power, we know that making smart investments today prepares us to meet our customers' needs tomorrow.
It's heart-wrenching when an abortion is necessary to save a woman's life. Some politicians would let her die. Chris West supports banning abortion with no exceptions for rape, incest, or even to save a woman's life. The Ledger-Inquirer reported West expressed no support for abortion if the life of the mother is at risk. Tell Chris West he doesn't get to decide if a woman lives or dies. House Majority PAC's responsible for the content of this ad.
Looking at clear skies overnight, another chilly night is in store, but again, not quite as cold as tomorrow morning. A few of the northern counties may see temperatures in the mid-30s, the rest of the area in the upper 30s to lower 40s. So again tonight, right around 40 in the Good Life City. Average low is 56, so we're still going to be well below average out the door. And then tomorrow afternoon, 71 degrees, a touch warmer, and we are getting closer to that average high of 80 degrees, but that's not going to be until Sunday. And then we're going to see those those temperatures warm up some heading into early next week. A slight rain chance arrives on Tuesday. Better rain chances on Wednesday with seasonal temperatures through the end of next week. Back to you, Julie.
Let's get to entertainment news now, as Georgia's own star actress Julia Roberts and George Clooney are reuniting on the big screen this weekend. In a romantic comedy set on a tropical island, no doubt. But they're not playing the proverbial couple in love. Reporter David Daniel explains.
I won't let her throw her life away. We need to trick her into dumping him. As much as this will pain us both, we have to call a truce to make this work.
It'd be in lockstep.
George Clooney and Julia Roberts are feuding exes who head to Bali to break up their daughter's wedding in Ticket to Paradise.
No mean comments. Pretty sure you don't win anything for eating the whole pig. No arguing.
Get up.
No passive aggression. What about aggressive aggression? Try to keep the snoring down.
I have a nasal strip.
It's a mystery you're still alone.
The stars received the script amid the isolation of the COVID-19 shutdown.
To read something that was outside, like that was such a big element of the movie. The sun, the sea, you know, people in nature, people together.
Are you sure they're not sharks?
Come on, don't be a chicken.
We might be working with the sharks.
Come on.
Can't believe I got bit by a dolphin. We both worked on a lot lately on things that are rather dark, you know, and I think we needed it. I know I did, and I think that we felt like other people might feel that same way.
Of course, filming in Paradise didn't hurt.
You know, I suffer from my art.
Yes.
You know that.
And therefore makes us all suffer for his art.
Everyone must suffer.
Oh, no. Dad, please stop doing that. Oh, my God. I'm praying for an asteroid.
In Hollywood, I'm David Daniel.
It's time now for our pet of the day. We have a very deserving girl who is not only looking for her ticket to paradise, but her exit from the Tift Animal Shelter. Take a look at this beauty. Her name is Vivian. She is absolutely precious. The fine folks at the Friendly City Shelter say they can't understand why the sweetie hasn't been snatched up yet. Please give them a call at 229-382-7387 for a meet and greet with Vivian. They are open weekdays from 1 to 6. And when you go, please let them know you found Vivian right here on South Georgia Television News. I want to thank you for spending your Thursday evening with us. We hope to see you again tomorrow. For all of us here at South Georgia Television News, I'm Julie Milam. Have a great night.
Dr. Trip Morgan with this staff at Albany Vascular Specialist Center, located at 2300 Dawson Road, Albany, Georgia, is Southwest Georgia's only outpatient vascular center, specializing in the diagnosis and treatment of peripheral arterial disease, varicose veins, dialysis access, and complex wound care. Now also offering non-invasive vascular procedures at Crisp Regional Hospital in Cordele, Georgia.
At Albany Vascular, we treat everyone like family.
I'm attorney Ken Nugent. If you're hurt and trying to choose a law firm, here are some questions you need to ask. Can I sign up online? You can with us. Do they have their own app that allows me to handle all aspects of my case from home? We do. Have they developed artificial intelligence to maximize the value of every case? We have. So when you see those lawyer ads making promises, remember, there's only one call, that's all.
Call 1-800-CALL-KEN.
Watching WSWG, Valdosta, Albany, Moultrie.
Welcome to Flint Ag and Turf, your local John Deere Equipment Center. Make the most of your land this season with Flint. Our consumer products team will help you choose the right products to tackle all of your outdoor tasks and keep you running strong all season long. With 8 full-service locations in Southwest Georgia, you have the home field advantage in every game, so you're guaranteed to win every time with Flint. For every landscape, for every customer, think Flint first.
Your love was a blessing, your memory a treasure. You are loved beyond words and missed beyond measure. At Martin Luther King Memorial Funeral Directors, our understanding of family comes from working together, growing up with our community, and responding to each family needs as if they were our own. We're committed to arranging a funeral or memorial service that will honor the life and memory of your loved one. Martin Luther King Memorial Funeral Directors, the House of Personal Service.